Welcome to Pax Europiana, here from Belgrade. This is the monument for the liberation of Belgrade in 1944. Yeah, exactly. Belgrade was liberated from my grandfather's generation. And the Germans, the Austrians, he was an Austrian, but he is serving in the German army, and it was terrible crimes. And I'm here to apologize in the name of the whole generations of Germans, Austrians, all of them who committed crimes against other Europeans. And it was terrible. All aspects, forms, I condemn them. And we are in Austria well aware about the crimes. It took a long time in the Waldheim disputes of the 86 to bring the full level of awareness towards the Austrian population, and that we are co-responsible for all as a nation, as a state, as a people. Even today, I fully endorse this and I believe in it. And we have built a better Europe to overcome our past sins, and it's possible. It is now under American tutelage, re-education and security provision in NATO, and under the American nuclear umbrella and under the American-inspired European Union, we have built a better Europe together. It's now in danger again by the bombs on Mariupol and the terrible war against Ukraine, and we have to all be much more united again with our American friends and in NATO and EU. And that must be the lesson of World War II, of the Cold War, and now of the Balkan Wars as well, and now the war again since the 24th of February. The message is very clear. It is the unity in the West, the freedom defended by our common institutions, and also all Balkan people united, all people of Southeastern Europe in the EU and the NATO, united, secure, protected under the American nuclear umbrella, and also in the European Union, prosperous and peaceful. This is what we learned in Central and Western Europe and Southern Europe out of World War II. This was the way the world was rebuilt after the Second World War under American leadership in NATO and American inspired in the EU. And this is what also should have been the lesson, and was also from the Balkan Wars. But we still have 6 countries missing: Serbia, Kosovo, Bosnia, Montenegro, Macedonia, Albania. And even 20 years after the Balkan Wars, they are still not in the European Union. Now with the war in Ukraine, the message must be clear that the 9 countries, the 6 Western Balkan countries and Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia, will be in NATO and the European Union. That must be the lesson of this terrible war here now against Ukraine, but also the lesson of World War II. The institutions work. Our security was provided, but outside there is none of this security, as we see in the case of Ukraine, and there must be membership for all 9 in NATO and in the EU. This is the lesson of the success of American-led reconstruction and the institutions. This is what Pax Europiana is also about. This is what I do, to continue the Pax Americana here in Europe, to learn how the Americans rebuilt Europe and to extend it towards a full working EU 37 security and freedom institutional structure, including all Western Balkans and Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia. And this is my pledge here on this gate of freedom, of liberation of Belgrade, that the world should not be under the Russian yoke, but it should be free in a world secured by America, by NATO, by the EU, and inside the European Union. This is also the future of European Serbia, and that's what I will work for. For peace, for prosperity, for security, for transatlantic unity, and for Serbia to be part of it. But Serbia has to do its part, obviously, recognize Kosovo, support Ukraine with weapons and solidarity, close the sky over Belgrade for Russian planes, and join the West fully institutionally, change Serbia towards a European democracy, market economy, and end this Putinesque kind of Vucic persiflage of democracy, and fully join the free Western world, like Croatia, like Slovenia, like Macedonia, like Albania, like Also Hungary, unfortunately, not a good example at the moment. Like Austria is also not the perfect at the moment. I'm very unhappy with Austria. But like everybody else in this beautiful European continent, to be united. And this Serbia, I hope, I pray, and I will work for, and I call for this Serbia to be fully integrated in the free world, in NATO, EU, the Euro, and also at peace with all neighbors and united with all neighbors. Bosnia, Kosovo, Montenegro, Albania, Macedonia, Austria, Hungary. Austria is not direct neighbor, I know, but Bulgaria, Romania. It was the wisdom to bring these countries in, and Romania and Bulgaria already early. Also Serbia might not be ready fully, but it doesn't matter. You just have to have the will to be part of the West. That's the most important. And I pledge to work for that, and I hope Serbia will join fully the West. Thanks a lot. More to come from Pax Europiana here from Belgrade. Bye.